Hi everybody, I'm Dominic. In this video, we're going to be installing our grounding rods outside into the ground, and we're going to be grounding our whole service panel and then running a bonding jumper from our panel to our water line, because it's important that all your plumbing in your house is grounded. So if you look at it, like if your wife's upstairs with the hair dryer in the bathroom and something goes wrong and she touches the sink, poof. Well, maybe you want that. Either way, think about this for a second. This house, 1840, was already built way before they had electric. It's like, wow. So any electric that's in this house, wow. I mean, I hope it was upgraded at some point, but it's all coming out. Anyway, first thing we're going to do, we want to work on our plumbing here, because we have our copper line that's going in the ground and all that. So we need to run a jumper, a bonding jumper, from that all the way over to the panel. So let's start with this way. Instead of doing the rods first, let's start here. Okay, copper pipe, right? And it's old, it's in good shape, but I mean, you can't really tell it's copper. So we're gonna clean this up. But right here, because we have city water in this house, is a water meter. Well, that's fine and dandy. I'm sure it's gonna make connection in between, if we just connect the wire here. But there's a good possibility that it won't go through the meter. And if they were servicing the meter, they took the meter off, just temporarily, of course, then we're not bonded anymore. So what we need to do is run a jumper from this side, because this is continuous copper all the way throughout the house. So we want to put some clamps on here, right here, both of these. We want to clean these up first. Let me give you a close-up of that. Okay, these clamps are made just for the pipes, okay? Just for the water pipes. The ones that we're gonna show you later are very different. Don't be fooled by that, because you will fail inspection, okay? They're just real simple to put them on. Now you wanna make these tight, but you don't wanna crank down on it so tight you're gonna break the screw or bust your pipe. But honestly though, if you broke the pipe at this point, you got other problems. All right, so we're gonna put one here and where I cleaned it off over here. Real important that you do this. Now, keep in mind that when you do this with the wire, as I'm gonna show you, all right, it's not one separate wire going from here to here, and then another one going from here to our panel. All right, this is all going to be one continuous wire. Okay, here we have our jumper, like I was showing you, using a number 4 solid wire, and I'll explain to you why it's such a thick wire a little later. But you can see I have it going here to a nice clamp, all the way over here, and I got the rest of the roll right here. Now I'm just going to bring this wire to the panel, which is on the other side of the basement. Okay, well, let me tell you, in my case, running that wire from that side all the way to this side was not easy. Okay, anyway, I got it into the panel, got our connection. This is a brand new panel, all right, so it's not even live yet, okay? Getting the light you see behind from this old, very scary one. So I'm very anxious to get it out. Okay, so anyway, this is where our neutral comes in. So we have our neutral bus bar there and our ground right here. So I'm gonna cut it right about there, okay? So we make sure that it goes through the connection there. So the electrical inspector can see that it's coming through, right? You don't want him to have to look for it, because he could fail you for that. Make sure it's coming out at least a 1/4 inch. Now we get to do the real fun stuff, putting an 8-foot rod through rocks and God knows what's under this ground. 1840 this house was built. Think about all the people that might have Jimmy Hopper might be there. Okay, now the fun stuff. Look at this thing. 8-foot rod, all right? These are your grounding electrodes, grounding rod, whatever you want to call them. There's a top and a bottom. See, little point right there, like that. You know, different brands gonna call it something different. That one's not as pointy. Okay, I'm gonna put 2 of them in. Why 2? Do you need 2? Technically, no. You only need 1. But that one better have a really great contact with the ground. The ohms resistance, I think, is 0.25, I believe it needs to be. And they say you don't get that with just 1, but you could. But why bother? Because you're either going to have to prove it to the electrical inspector, and if he's not an educated, good electrical inspector, he's going to make you do 2. So just do 2. How far away from the building? Okay, this house is 1840. God knows what's close to this house or not. Well, we don't want to put it in the neighbor's yard either. But keep in mind, I mean, I don't know how this house was built, but normally we have a footing under the ground, okay? So if your wall, and actually this wall is 12 inches thick, so the footing may not even be one, but it's good condition from 1840, so I don't know. So your footing is going to be typically a much wider than the thickness of the wall, usually by double, okay? And a portion of that is going to stick out past that wall. So you don't want to go right up to the wall, because you're going to end up hitting that, in this case, probably like 4 feet deep. So you want to kick it out, go at least a foot, Remember, this is going to be buried in the ground anyway, and right before it goes to the ground, you want to just dig a little hole. So when you bang it in, you can get it down in the ground, and you put the dirt back over it, you'll never know. So that is the first thing we want to do. We want to locate, we'll just put that over there for now. We want to locate where we want to put these grounding rods. This is our service panel coming in, our panel's right on the other side there. So right here, I believe, would be a good spot. And then more than 6 feet away from it will be another one. Also, keep in mind, and I doubt you do, but if you have any other active electrodes in the ground, you need to stay away from them. I'm going to post all the codes as I'm talking about them or afterwards, so you can read through them, okay? It's complicated, so don't argue, just do it, and whatever the electrical inspector wants, you say, yes sir, no problem, I'll take care of that, and so be it. Okay, let's start digging a hole. Okay, got my little hole dug, show you that in a second. And you might have noticed that I have a ladder here. A ladder, because I need to get on top of the 8-foot rod. And sorry to tell you, but I'm not 9 feet tall. Okay, now we have an option. You have a couple options. Look, there it is. Hammer. Rod. You do that about 50,000 times. Maybe you'll hit it 10 times. Maybe. You don't want to do that. And believe me, I've done them, and many of them. We need a tool. Don't expect you have this tool. Nice hammer drill. Not a little one that you're going to hang a picture with. We're talking about a big bastard here. Big one, okay? With a special bit on it. Just like that. That's where the grounding rod's going to slip in. So now, I'm not going to slip off of it like I would a hammer with a hammer. Stick it in, turn it on, and we'll see. We're going to give this to you in fast motion, because slow motion or regular motion, regular time, ain't going to be so pleasurable to watch. Go rent them. What it could have cost you, $50 for a couple hours a day. Trust me, you'll thank me. So let's start putting some rods in. Wow, that was not fun. By no means. We got one in. You see I had to skip the other one. Got it down a couple feet, then locked up solid. I'm going to try to pull it out and restart it somewhere. If I can't pull it out, cut it, go buy a new one. Well, I tried. I can't pull that thing out. Although it's only in a couple feet. That sucker's stuck. Gonna need cut it, buy a new one, try it somewhere else. But I got one last option. A little extreme, but if I get it, pull it right out. Let's see. I'm gonna go get my tool. Pull that puppy out. Okay, well, I got that sucker out. That was pretty easy. Well, I'm 16 inches away from the house from the one that we did get in. I want to make sure I'm at least that now. I don't know what's down there. I mean, like I told you, this house was built a long time ago. And some of the stuff I've dug up, I mean, I'm digging up the ground where you think that was always like that, and 2 feet deep. I'm finding like sidewalks and curbs. Like what? Okay. I'm gonna go that way and out just a little bit. We'll try it again. So, welcome to Fast Motion. Oh boy, that was a barrel of fun. Those 2 rods, this ground. Boy, I'm glad I had that big hammer drill there. Oh, and that bit. That made things a hell of a lot easier. Wow, that like wore me out. I'm all like vibrated here. Alright, so now we can start running our wire there and get all this grounded and bonded to our service panel. My God, I don't feel like doing anything anymore. Matter of fact, I don't know. I'm looking at the camera, the battery's getting low. I'm hungry. Maybe I'll just pick this up tomorrow. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so here we are at our first grounding rod. You can see I got the wire coming in this way, and then I got it looping over, which is going to the next one there. These right here, I'll show you one without being in the wire. This is called an acorn. Well, they can call whatever they want. But if you go into the supply house and say, I need a couple of acorns, and tell them what size rod you got, then this is what they're going to give you. This is what you're going to use to attach the wire. In this case, I got a little mold up there. We're going to get it over the rod, go down like an inch or two, make a good connection. All right, you see that? And we're going to tighten it, not with a pair of pliers or anything. We're going to tighten it with an actual wrench, okay? Remember, this is to protect you, not your neighbor, okay? So make sure you have a good, strong connection. If you break this, well, tighten it with the wrench, go buy another one, okay? You want to make it tight. You want a good connection here, all right? And you'll know it. You'll see the wire getting crushed, getting in there. And you don't put the wire under the bolt, okay? Because that ain't gonna do any good. That's just gonna chop it all up. Move the wire around. All right, good. I mean, I can tighten it more, yeah, and I will break it. I want it this nice. I don't want it snug. I want it tight. And we're gonna put our wires into a little trench here. It doesn't gotta be 5 feet deep. All right. Depending on who your inspector is, he'll want to see this whole entire connection, okay? So if you can, leave it open. Like I said, some inspectors, if they know you, you know, but if they know you, you don't need me, you don't need this video. So just leave it open. And now I'm just going to go do the other one, and then we're going to go connect it inside. Okay, back inside with our grounding rod wires. You can see I already put them in because the battery went dead and I got to get this project done. Well, each one to show you, these are our wires coming in, nice and stiff, nice and tight in here into our new panel. One thing I forgot to show you, at least I believe I did, either way it's not done, so I'm going to show you. Whenever you buy a new panel, it's going to might even come with some breakers, but one thing that is always going to come with is a green screw. This green screw, not putting this in, will fail you, boom, right away. I know electrical inspectors, I mean, I've been using one for the last 20-something years, the same one actually. And the first thing he looked at on the very first job, and we're talking, oh, long time ago, he comes in because he couldn't see it, failed me right away. He said, yep, you failed. I'm like, what for? It's not bonded. I'm like, yeah, it is. And I showed him, and he's like, oh, okay, you got me. But, okay. Green screw, what it's gonna do, it's gonna bond our neutral, our ground here, because you got a bar going across this, it's all connected. But the casing here is not, okay? This screw is going to take care of that. I don't know what panel you have, what brand, whatever. Usually they're all the same. We'll have a screw, a hole on either side. We're just going to put it in right there. You can see if oh, I dropped my screwdriver. See if they give you a close-up of it here. Well, I put it in. Where the hell is it? Oh, this side. All right, you see that screw? Okay, now you do. All right. Put it in the hole. Let me show you the hole first so you can see it. See, it's a hole. Goes in like that. And what it is, we're threading right into the back panel there. You know, don't crank on this so tight that you break the screw or strip it out, but just like that, boom. Now the whole project is done. Done. Now I just got to put the rest of the circuits in. You can see I already started doing some of them, but I got a bunch more to go, and that's probably half of them that I have to go. Then whenever I renovate the rest of the house, right now this is just the kitchen, washer, dryer, stove, That's our big ass stove wire. Then I'll have to do the rest of them. But for now, I'm gonna put all these in here because the rest of the house is not torn apart yet. So I can get an inspection on this. Then the electrical inspector will submit what's called a cut card to the utility company, and then they will come out and disconnect the old and then connect that big wire that we put in the very beginning of this whole video series. And they're going to connect it, and this will become live and covered, and I can start ripping out the old stuff. Looking forward to taking the old stuff out. Anyway, thanks for watching.